guys, welcome back to Do So Confidently, where we are finally picking up again our Harry Potter series. I'm just going to try and keep this a little bit short. It has been several months since I finished this book. I just never had time to actually do the recording. So I'm going off of months old memory. I'm also going to put it out there that in my Discord, which is in the link in the description, I'm going to be opening up a channel for discussion of these books that will have spoilers in them. I'm going to make it it's not going to be spoiler free, and we'll let people talk. But at the same time, I'm also going to be I want to feel out if there's any interest in a chat stream, either over a brainless game like Minecraft, where you can just sit there and farm and do things without really thinking about it. Maybe not Minecraft, because I have to think through Minecraft with something, a brainless game. And we'll chat. Again, I will allow spoilers since I have finished the books, over, just discuss the books like a book club. That being said, I'm going to try and keep these videos relatively short with the interest of getting those community events a little bit more priority. So, that being said, this is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And I remember this being the first book that I kind of honestly started going downhill on my thoughts on. And that's because it is the turn of the series towards a very dark place. And it is full of angst, it's full of obvious drama, it's full of a lot of rage, which maybe some of that is my inability to handle conflict very well. So it could be that it brought up conflict in me, but there were a lot of outbursts of rage that to me just were almost unwarranted. And I had seen in a different video, in a comment in a different video, I believe it was Alex, I could be wrong about that, but I think Alex was saying that this is almost a form of PTSD, or it is basically that there's going to be a start to show some PTSD from all the things that have happened to Harry. And if that is what is in this book, then it is pretty well pulled off, because to me, the rage fits, I want to say lack of trust. It was almost more of a generalized hatred to most people. All of that, it came about really, really suddenly, and it didn't make a lot of sense. There were a lot of places where it just didn't fit. It was out of character for Harry. It was, it made a scene drag on longer than it should have, in my opinion. And again, that could, that could be argued that is a mental state that could happen and would really cause issues, which it did. This is also the first of the longer books, so there was a lot more ground covered, or a lot more, I want to say internal ground covered. And again, that's okay. It just, to me, it didn't fit with the other books. I'm going to say this now, and I'll probably say it in the next two videos as well. I think if this series had ended at Goblet of Fire, I would have been happy. Obviously with some more resolution, because the series is far from over at this point. But as of this point, my favorite book is still the one before. It's the Goblet of Fire. So I would have been relatively happy with just ending it there. I really liked the play on the characters in this book. This is where some needless consequences, I feel like, started coming up as well. In this book, they don't feel quite as needless. When you get to the next couple videos, you'll start to understand what I mean to say, because I will say it out in the last one. But there's a lot of things that happen in this book, and this is my spoiler-free part, so I'm trying to get around this without spoilers. There's a lot of things that happen in this book that almost feel needlessly dark, or almost like J.K. Rowling is trying too hard to change the reader's emotions towards certain events and certain people and certain things. So that being said, the storytelling of the book I'm okay with. It is a pretty good book. I would not let an 11-year-old read it. I probably would not let a child read this until they were at least maybe 16, because there are a lot of very heavy issues in this book. It is also the one that starts getting more heavily into divination. And I am not, again, a huge fan of divination in general. Much less so, like, I enjoyed that the originals for the first 4 books actually kind of pushed aside as it's there, but it's not necessary. In this set of books, it starts becoming very clear what is happening with Harry, mentally, between him and Voldemort. And I remember reading this and thinking that I didn't think I liked where it was going. So to keep that in mind, as a Christian, I would say read the first 5 books and stop, and get someone just to tell you the rest of the story. As an avid reader that needs to have a story finished, I would say read this with a grain of salt, obviously, but also keep it. This is for an older audience. I will outright say this is much older material than the previous book. I would give at least 2 years between the reader of the previous book and this one. They have been ramping up in angst and darkness, but this is a pretty big jump. So that is my thoughts on this book. Do I like it? Do I not like it? This one was okay. Not my favorite, not terrible. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I will see you guys in the next video to continue my thoughts.